And I had the biggest training institute, and I was doing a lot of things at that time, in that city. But at a point in time, I just realized that Lagos is the happy place.
They feel okay, this business
Is worth
about
generating
500,000
naira.
naira. They will say, okay, you have to pay 10,000 naira or even up to 50,000 naira. No, it's not per month. It's actually annually.
Oh.
Yes. Local government actually has a lot of taxes. I just remembered. If you go and check local governments, their bylaws or something, if you see the kind of taxes that local government has, bicycle, radio, television.
True.
Local government has a whole.
For
I don't
house
know.
owners and the
Local
likes.
government has a whole lot of taxes. So you see those things they are collecting. I can't say they are illegal because local government will put it anywhere. Local government has, I don't know. Local government taxes like the UK. So probably it's just the air you are breathing in that you don't pay tax on. Yes. As a unit. So how will Mr. and Mrs. Mr. A and Mrs. A come together and say they want to have a joint venture agreement? It's actually very difficult.
As a contrary
contrast.
Okay.
Yes, because we can't predict what the future holds, and in the case of eventualities, like my people here will use, what then happens?
No.
But me, I just feel that when you are doing business, even with your partner, you should do things the way it's meant to be. Sign the contract. No, I'm going somewhere.
It won't even come up.
It will come up initially.
If not that you talked about it,
It will come up.
I would never ever think about that.
That is it.
Because what is
a
my
husband and a
wife
wife, you think you
is
see them
mine.
as a unit.
What is mine is my wife's. So I don't know. And this is
Maybe
Uncle
because I've had so
Uncle
much
Talks.
This topic
expenses.
came up in my church one time.
Oh, okay.
And the pastor who came is a business analyst. And somebody asked a question that should my husband loan me money to start business and start asking me for a legal document to back it up? And the man said, have you registered your company? She said yes. The man said, your husband is not loaning you.
He's loaning the company.
So your husband asking for calling a lawyer to come for you to come and sign an agreement, and you bringing forward what you want to do with the money, come and defend it, bring it to a table. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad
do you know what I glean? Do you know what I glean? Sorry, do you know what I glean from what you just said? Is that I see it this way: that the man is trying to help his wife to go professional with what she's doing and do things the way it's meant to do. Not because he's like loaning her the money. Like, let's do business the way business is meant to be done. This what the instance you mentioned is not them doing business together.
He is a director in that company.
And so he's a stakeholder. Okay.
Yes.
Wait, let me explain. He's a director, but if he is loaning, he has become a creditor to the company. And if a person credits your company, of course, you become a debtor to that person. So he has put himself in the position of a creditor. Like, I am loaning the company this money, and the company has to pay me back.
So
That
what
is
I'm
just
saying
tricky
is,
business.
if we say that a wife and a husband wants to go in partnership and they want it to be legal, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Nobody is saying it's a bad idea. My thought. But I think that it won't really come up. Because
it's just because of the kind of
maybe
environment
for
we
someone
find
like
ourselves.
me, it will come up because the business is different from me and my wife.
Okay.
Like me and my wife were one. The business we are doing together is different.
Okay.
Like in my business now, my wife is the accountant. I deal with her as an accountant away from my wife.
Okay.
So when it comes to do account, I'll do a mail. She'll send me the account. I will query it. We'll get an auditor. We'll do it business. When we get back to the room, me and my wife were two different things. Every legal document we need to sign as in doing that business together. We've done it. That's two different things. So I'm trying to say that we should not always allow relationship gets in the way of business. Because that is what will always bring a problem, either we like it or not.
I get you.
And we should respect it.
Do you know what
I get
what you just said?
Yes.
I see it differently in the sense that your wife is an accountant by profession, and now
Professional
you put her in that capacity of being the accountant for the business.
Yeah.
Typically, if depending on the kind of business, if I was setting up a business, registering a company, then we are expected to have an accountant.
Of course.
We will deal professionally. We are sending memos, sending documentation.
Yeah, we own the business together.
Yeah, we own the business. So we owning the business. My wife is not an accountant, even if she might be a professional in that field. But we are running it as CEO and COO, whatever
Now,
it is. So oversight of the business. I'm just talking personal opinion, like our sister said. Personal opinion. I'm running oversight as the heads of the organization. We deal with every other party or stakeholder or people working, employees, so on and so forth.
Yes.
We will deal with them professionally, like you said. So that's why I think your case is a special case because of the special business.
I'm not
Opinion,
even
my
yet with
opinion.
it.
Yeah.
So at the end of everything, when we need to do reports, she sends to both of us as partners. So on the business ground, we relate as partners in the business.
And when it comes to family matters elsewhere.
So when I have issues with my partner in the business, I address it as an issue with my partner in the business, and we resolve it that way.
I think it's okay.
Because if I say, it's my wife who, for example, when we now have issue in the business, I'll not now be able to now resolve it now because no, business, we are two different people. We are partners, and it ends there. Everybody signs their part. At the end of the year, everybody gets their share, their pay, and we go back home smiling. It's that because the thing is, these are the little ways that issues develop in marriage that we don't even think of.
Yes.
And we should learn to just, and of course, in my professional capacity, I would always say that address every issues and in the name of the issue. You know, don't say because we are me and my husband, I didn't be together. No. The company separately, you people are different. Address it that we are partners, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, but then again, you know, running business in Nigeria is not easy for people that are running business. Even people high up there. I can remember when Dangote was trying to float this refinery thing and stuff. That his friend mocked him. That they say don't invest in Nigeria. That puts your money there. Today the guy is selling fuel for us. His fuel is cheaper. We are
he's successful.
So the thing is, it might be challenging, you know, guys. It might be challenging, but you can pull through.
Business
in Nigeria, especially,
amazing,
very stiff.
You know what?
What are the things that makes it challenging? I think capital. Probably infrastructure,
economic fluctuation,
governmental policies
and all makes it so
taxation.
Yes, makes
even
it
as
so
a faith-based
difficult
person, like,
starting
even as a
business
even as
a
believer, when each time I review my price, or I have to
running
in 1 year, I am reviewing price like 4 times. My customers will feel why is the price changing? It's not me, it's the economy.
You know,
people take advantage of that, you know. Price has not changed, you. Of course. Economy. But one thing I learned to do is to have, from economics in school, is to have projection. That this is kind of economy I'm in, doing business. So I know that there's every possibility that in 1 year I might review my price up to 5 times. So let me project ahead first.
You know that invoices right now, because of how volatile the economy is, and all, invoices are expected to have a time span. So someone requests for a quotation and you've drafted your invoice with your quotation and everything. There should be it should have a lifespan. Oh, after 24.
This invoice
after 24.
Expired.
That's so like you go to the market
Honestly, that's what is happening in the
market today. You get an item for 100 naira. You go the next day, they say it's 250. They will call you a liar now. So terms and conditions. Under my own invoice, terms and conditions. This invoice expires in 24 hours. Let's close.
I was to do something for somebody last year,
Mm.
and I'd already given the person the price of everything, and something that I put 15,000 naira. Imagine me getting to the market when the person is ready to do that thing, and I'm seeing it for 40. From 15,000 to 40 something thousand naira. And you know, people don't want to understand when you tell them. Sometimes when you tell them things are so expensive in the market, they start pricing you down that
it looks as though you
it
want to
looks
exactly.
as if it looks as if okay, you're trying to play smart on me or
especially with this logistics
and the thing
delivery
is
issue.
just so tiring these days. Myself and somebody were still arguing on me delivering something to the person at K2. That was last night. I was telling the person, if I'm going to be driving all the way to K2, I can't use fuel less than 10 liters. And 940 times 10 is about, she was like, 20,000 naira is too much to deliver to.
How much is what they bought?
And it's not even K2, just K2 here. It's inside one estate in Chinese village like that, though, that I don't even know the place. So I'm trying to explain to her, and she's like, your money is too much. I said, if you call Uber, I know how much Uber is.
Let me teach you something that I do.
I
tell my clients, once they buy market, market, I say, I'll tell them normally. I think it's in your best interest to ensure how you want to receive your goods. Send me your delivery man or your ride or your cab. Put it there. It gets to you. So the delivery cost. It's your business.
Of course, I put forward options for them, but still, you know, she was
want
like,
to play around.
You have to just
bring
it down.
If I put
because of the content of the market, you understand.
Okay.
So you have to you can't just give it to some random person to bring it up.
No.
To bring it.
Most of my people to me too is food item.
They come to pick it up.
And then most of them just send their self. Or they'll come and pick it up.
Raw is different from something being cooked.
They can
you understand?
They can see the two of them.
It's different from something.
They can see the two of them.
But in this, I'm just trying to.
December.
I'm just trying
somebody
to.
Somebody said chicken. Chicken will not get to destination. Live chicken.
Really?
And you see all those
I've
things.
heard of
All those things too are part
delivery
of
guys
what you
eating
face
meals.
as a business
Live
owner.
chicken don't get to
You understand? Those things
destination.
are part of what you face as a business owner.
Yeah.
Okay, my question here is I'm going into tax and taxation. For example, let me come as a layman. For people who sell in the market, say main market and stuff, that's a business. They call it business. Some of them might not have actually registered their business name or register it as a company. So my question is, does these people, do they get taxed?
They do.
They do.
They do get taxed.
Yes.
The local government goes
Do
after
they
them.
get taxed?
Yes, now.
The local government goes after them.
yes.
I have seen it.
They tax them,
Okay.
so they
How
pay.
do they call that taxing?
So how do they
don't
measure it?
understand.
How
I don't
do they
understand.
measure it?
So
Because
let me tell you.
You know
no
what happens?
measurement.
I think the local government, these local government agents, they just go into the shops or whatever. They look at, okay, this is the size. Okay. I don't even know who they are. But I've seen them do it a number of times. They will just look at the size of the business. If they feel, okay, this business
It's worth
is worth about 500,000 naira, they will say, okay, you have to pay 10,000 naira or even up to 50,000 naira. No, it's not per month. It's actually annually.
Oh.
Yes. So they will just give you. They don't have any way of measuring it. They just look at the shop and feel like, okay, I think this person has a lot. If you pack everything off your shelves and they find nothing there, they will bill you just with what they can see there. Yes.
That means the person
I've
can
seen
actually
people
negotiate.
Yes, I've seen people even actually do that they will pack things off their shelves. The day they know that, okay, they might be coming or something, they will pack things off their shelves so that when they come, whatever they see there is what they bill them based on. Because those ones don't have anything particularly that they base them they base their tax on, just what they see. Then there's the company income tax, the company income tax. That one, you have to bring a paper of the income your company has made for a year. Yes, and
File with that.
yes, with I think FIRS. Okay, that is where they determine the amount of tax you have to pay per annum. Then I think that's basically it, except for the returns that CAC asks for too annually. There are some company returns that you have to make to CAC every year. Even as a business name, you have it. So incorporated trustees too.
But what about the leverage given to startups? I think I don't know. I think there was
Okay,
this startups.
tax
I think the
holidays
first
and
few
whatever.
years when you start your
It's
business
not every
and
business that is
for the
That gets
business
that.
for business name
It's
owners
not-
for
it's
not
not business
registered
name
companies
owners, you know?
like for those who register their
for
businesses.
business names.
Yes.
I don't know about tax holidays for them. You know that
That the
it's not
first-
as though
okay.
it's not as though business names are so heavily taxed. They are not heavily taxed. Okay, well, I can't say that companies are taxed according to their capacity.
That's,
Not
okay.
not that
There's
they
a
are-
generic
There's a-
taxation.
yes.
It's
Okay.
just the capacity of the company. That's
Company.
why they will ask you to submit your papers. They will look at your income, and then if it's from the income that they will determine what
Okay.
your tax is for the year. Then it's actually some businesses that enjoy tax exemptions.
Exemptions.
For a
Exemptions.
while.
That's the right
What
word.
kind of business?
Exemptions.
I think agriculture is one of them.
Okay.
Agriculture is
Have
one
you
of
signed
them,
me on
yes.
that table?
to encourage them, you know. Agriculture takes, okay, let me say, if you plant, it's not like in the same season for everything you plant that you make harvest. And okay, so they give time. In fact, I think agriculture might be the least taxed business, most likely. Then there are also some businesses, probably to encourage them to be able to pick up and all. They might give them some tax exemptions, you know. If they are supposed to pay this, they'll say, okay, just leave that one out and all. CAC has all the information, and even if I
there are local
they are allowed.
markets.
For someone starting the business, that means one has to have knowledge.
Of course.
I mean, you're not just going in there blindly.
Of course.
I mean, talking about what we just got, taxation, finances, so on and
course.
so forth. Okay?
So
Pakistan.
there's this local market taxes that I want to talk about really, because there was time I had that direct experience. So now I would explain and give an example. For example, as a farmer, I sell yam. So let's say from the
do?
I said for example.
Okay,
now,
for
I sell yams. So from production, I mean from farm, from planting. Probably a tuber of yam will cost me, let's say, 300 naira, for example, from production. Then I'll now calculate logistics from the farm to the market. Let's say I spend 100 naira on it, that's 100. Then at the market, there is association of yam sellers, and I'll pay tax to them. Let's say that one is 200 naira. So that is 4 plus 2 by 600. Then there is the main market tax itself. Let's say that one is 300 naira. That's 900. Then there's now the Yaloja general tax of the states, like all the market in the states now, in that particular state. That one can be like 500 naira. So 900 plus 500 naira. 1 4. And I don't want to put my profit on it. Say, okay, this year, let me now put profit of 200 naira for myself. That's how much? 1.6. So you now come to my shop and say you want to buy 2 of yam, and now say buy one for 2,000 naira.
So that's why things are actually expensive. Like
so there are hidden level of local taxes on commodities in the market. You know, that happens. But most times we don't see it. We just say, no, in my years of when I had to work with Fadama for a while, Fadama Sellers Group, like Meat Group, Work Group, we saw these things happen.
Sure.
And it's something that they have to do themselves. It makes commodity expensive. So let's say I want to go into now that farming business now. For me, I'll just do off taking. What pays is, let me just buy the yam in bulk from the producers, from farmer, and go and sell. I've cut the production stress away.
Stress out.
And then I'll now say that I'm not selling at the market. I'll not go and do flyer and say I can deliver to you
Directly.
So I cut all those level markets. So it's now cheaper. So you see how some people now sell, they'll deliver, it's cheaper, lower price of this one, a lot of pepper is cheaper, because we need to find a way to. But I'm now thinking,
if they are registered, they still have to pay the regular tax.
Get into all of these things to drop the cost or drop those things. Because I still say it.
I believe that's
the day I become commissioner for agric in any state, they will collect.
You know what? I believe that government makes a whole lot from those taxes. Yeah. Not only from the state level, also to the ward and local government level. Yeah. I mean, that is where the real money is. For example, I heard somebody who was vying for a position, I think as a ward councillor. I can't remember what he was vying for, but his plan was that he will be on the streets, not in the office, like where you have all where you have the transport guys and all that. He said that is where the money is.
Daily.
All those daily
National.
money, that is where
daily.
the money is.
Daily money.
So money is really flowing from those ends to the detriment of people in businesses.
Exactly.
If you go
To the
markets,
detriment of people in businesses.
you see how our business women are being taxed every day. Like there's this market that you go, you buy things, even if you are not selling, you are going to bring something out of that market, you pay at the entrance. They'll give you tickets.
Yes.
They will give you tickets. Now imagine somebody selling it. They will check the load with you. Once they say, this one is plenty, they will tell you, oh, yeah, pay 500 naira. And if you don't pay, you need to see the way they would. They will scatter your market.
This is where the problem is. Okay, we have our lawyer here.
This under
But I
local
believe-
government and all these
Okay,
things.
they're under-
Local
I believe
government.
that one.
If you go
Let me
to
break
pepper
that down.
market and you want to share pepper, they will tell you have to pay for sharing pepper in the market.
You pay for
Thank God that
For
they-
the ground, right?
ground.
You
For
know,
the
while the law might not state clearly that you must not pay such amount such money. My own this thing is this: you've gone to the market and you have to use this market. Okay, I think there are actually some. Local government actually has a lot of taxes. I just remembered. If you go and check local government, their bylaws or something. If you see the kind of taxes that local government has, bicycle, radio, television,
True.
local government has a whole.
Yeah, for
I don't
house
know.
owners and the
Local
likes.
government has a whole lot of taxes. So you see those things they are collecting. I can't say they are illegal because local government will put it anywhere. Local government has, I don't know. Local government taxes like the UK. So probably it's just the air you are breathing in that you don't pay tax on. Yes. So actually all those things they are collecting, if you want to challenge them and say it's illegal, they will go and show you.
Yes.
And they will fix it somewhere and you really can't
But does this
Do you
help
mean it's their
business
constitution?
people? Does it help startup business owners to
It might-
thrive?
It might not
Imagine
help
you
businesses,
having
but that one-
to
that
start
one is-
business with 20,000 naira and
that
you want
one
to
is
go
the-
to probably fruit market to bring fruit for people just for you to sell to people. And before it gets to this place, tax don't kill you, you
It's
pay
less of
tax
their
on the
problem.
My
sand.
question is,
Do you know what I
It's just
feel?
so
This is
tiring.
what I feel we as people should do. At least looking at the Western climb, what core business people do is to look for loopholes. You mentioned one when you talked about people who have businesses. No, I think it was Papi Sam, either one of you, that talked about businesses. Cutting off the middlemen and everything. Now your warehouse is your house. You are delivering from there. Say, come pick up the goods from here. You boycotted the whole lot. It's looking for loopholes because it's legal. I mean, as long as it doesn't contravene the law, then you are good to go. So as business-oriented people, you look for ways by which you can
Cut off the
middleman without contravening the law.
The law, yes.
And that way you do your business, make your money. For example, before, businesses were established in offices, shops, outlets, branches. Now people have taken their businesses home.
But not everybody can do a business from home.
Yeah.
So I
So even
understand
online.
that point.
yeah,
What you are
I
even
want to
saying-
find out that those local government constitution, let's say their constitution, I don't know the name, like all those are laws, taxes, are they reviewable?
Their bylaws.
Bylaws, and like I said, so I was correct bylaw. So those bylaws, are they reviewable? Torí a máa review ẹ. The law, a máa review ẹ.
As the incoming
I've said it in 2 ways.
Maybe when he
I've
gets
said
there, we'll
this
start
in
reviewing.
2 ways. A máa review ẹ. A máa review ẹ.
You know that the federal government has their own level of taxation. State government has their own level of taxation, but the local government, their taxes, But I feel like I don't know if it's the local government that takes the bulk of the money or
It goes to the
It
federal
goes
level.
up.
I think
Goes to
I think a friend of mine who worked with FIRS said, I think something comes from the state government, from the local level up.
Up
To the
to
state
I think so. I'm not certain. I need to confirm that, but I think he said something like that. He works with the
But
FIRS.
what I want to say is that if that thing is going up, the likelihood of cutting it off is very, very low. That is just it. If it's not going up, then you can make a protest that, this thing is throat cutting and all.
You have
I think-
FIRS, you have
I
IRS,
think I want to get the second degree.
which is okay.
in
Federal-
How can
that
we make-
FIRS
I want
is
to
for
get
the
the second. Wait
federal.
first. I want to get the second degree in local government constitution law.
So how can we
Sincerely,
make-
I need to.
How can governments make starting up business easy for people, startups?
Can government make it easy?
Well, the only way government has intervened in issues of startups are the loans and possibly tax exemptions in some cases, or tax rebate. Thank you. So I think
But don't
that's
you
pretty
feel
much
that-
what
Don't
the
you feel
government
that
can
this
do.
loan government has actually put in place is not going round? People
Well,
are not. I mean, it's not easily accessible to people,
You know what I would
especially
say?
when you don't know people hop
you know
up.
what I will say.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, the problem we have is that knowledge gap. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's one thing I found out.
Information, yes.
We don't have the information. That is it. Because someone was saying something about some loans that were available, and I opened my mouth like, wow, really? The issue is that we often do not have the information, and we don't know where to get it.
Then
So why are we not having it?
No,
why
no,
are we not
I
having it?
think-
Why
I
are they
think-
not creating awareness when there are loans?
Bureaucratic bottleneck.
Let me explain
Okay.
something to you.
That
When
was-
you need something, you look for it.
True.
Another problem is that even there is a challenge with this online stuff going on now. You see even the
E-commerce?
awareness, yes, even the awareness being created, and you are not sure. Who do we meet? You find out they are giving social loan, blah blah. Click on social link, and you see so many people duped through that means.
All those loan sharks.
Loan sharks.
Somebody now collect loan. Maybe person has not. Maybe just one day, so they'll
They'll
now
post
say,
your
Kule is on the
obituary.
wrong.
They post
Kule is a thief.
some people they post their obituary.
That one is
but
different.
it's
One
It's
the
different. It's
You
different.
know,
There are two things.
different.
It's different from
This
what
one
you are
is
saying.
different, though.
Yes.
This ones
What
are
she's saying.
all these fintech people now.
Yeah, people that are posting
loan
up.
apps. That's not government's.
That's
not
not
government
government
loan.
approved.
What
It's
she's
not-
even
I mean,
talking
it
about
might be
is like,
government approved, but it's not government.
when you have information come up with a link saying you should register so that you can
Access
you can
a loan.
access a particular loan. At the end of the day,
You
it
access
turns out to
it,
be a scam
fake whatever.
and all that.
So
Yeah.
when you see such information,
How
how
do
do
you
you
verify?
verify that actually this is from the government? And
But-
No, my
No,
thought is
once
this.
once it is government owned loan, it's going to be stated there
No.
now.
No.
You know that
When they
there are
want
there are some that come up with phishing links actually, and they just put it there and tell you that you should. There's a grant. In fact, most often they come with there's a grant and whatever.
Yes.
So I think if they say this thing is coming up, that is why Google is my friend. Let me check. Is this thing actually?
real?
Inquiry.
Yes, because at least if there is
Google
anything
is-
like that from the government,
It should
you
be
will see
there.
something.
Yeah, I know
You
that
see something.
they have social media platform, government agencies. Just check their website, social media platforms. If they have new information on ground, they will post it there, so we'll know.
I
Don't
realize that
because-
we need to really learn. Sincerely, doing business, let's say it the way it is not easy.
It's
not
not
easy. Oh.
Let's say it's not for the faint-hearted.
for the
It's not for
faint-hearted.
the lazy. I
No.
mean, you really have to,
You have to invest your whole self.
you have to read.
Surely.
You have to learn from the
And
governmental
that's why
side
when
and
you're
all that.
going into business, don't go because of the profits you want to.
Oh, no.
That's not the number one thing, because if that's what you're pursuing, then at the end of the day, you won't.
So I'll add
you
to
won't.
that. Go into business with the mindset of solving a problem and be passionate about it.
Yeah,
Be passionate
passionate
Because
about
else,
whatever
if it's money you're going
If
to
it's
find,
money, it's just at the end of the day, you
Hey.
just. That's why you see
That's
people.
not
That's why you
happening.
see people when business does not work for them, they go for suicide. They I mean, they
They're
do
frustrated
drastic things. They are,
and-
yeah.
Let's
There is
okay.
another point I want to come in. The labor force themselves. These people are important too. in the course of the business. Now, are there labor policy? Because before this session, we were discussing about labor policy and stuff,
Labor law.
Labor law, thank you. How do you treat your laborers or your staff? And are there laws that actually come against you when you do certain things or when you don't do certain things?
To add to that, there's this thing there's this news I was trending one time where one guy was working for one man, and then because he couldn't make it to work, and then the man sacked him, they went to beat him up, locked him up. So I think some people went to visit the prison. They were like, so why are you here? He said he offended the boss at work, and the boss locked him up, and he has been there for like 2-3 years. What? And then he has not been paid and all. And I was telling somebody that we have labor laws in Nigeria. I'm feeling like a learned colleague. My learned colleague will corroborate this point. We have labor laws in Nigeria, but they are not enforced. But
wow. Like our pre-discussion I was talking about, I said we surely have labor law in Nigeria. We have a labor law, and domesticated by states in Nigeria too. And I said often it's mostly governmental agencies, ministries and departments and agencies that tend to comply with what the labor laws provide. Private employers tend to just do anything that comes to their head.
And foreign companies.
For example,
And foreign companies especially. Foreign companies.
Chinese companies.
Sorry, a typical example of that
Even
is
Lebanese companies too.
the
do that.
minimum
Chinese
wage,
companies.
payment of
We
the
don't visit
minimum
them
wage.
in Nigeria.
I'm corroborating
Okay,
what you're
minimum
saying.
wage.
Like payment of the minimum
you
wage.
see
A
that-
lot of
you
private
see
institutions
that
are not paying the minimum wage. Yes.
A lot of them.
So sorry for that interruption. I just
No
wanted to chip that
problem.
in.
So that is what I'm trying to say. Where there is a labor law, one, many people are not even aware of the provisions of this labor law. Then, foreigners that have seen that you don't know your law, you don't even care about it, you've never challenged them, you've not put them to a challenge. When they ask you to work overtime and I've heard of Chinese companies locking their workers, like they can't go home, they can't go anywhere, they will just lock them in and they work a whole week at a stretch. Maybe they will just be given one day to go back home and come back.
You will not be surprised.
In fact,
That's
they
against
work
the
all
we have
contract.
week.
It's not like part
Nigerians
of-
there that are their labor chairman. We have labor chairman in that but because Nigerians, there's a way we
want to
collect,
feed our pocket.
collect something.
No, I think
say
the
when
problem
they
is
come really
I think the
affecting.
problem mostly is that those ones are trying to protect their employment.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
That
then
is the issue.
there's the part that when even our government agencies go there to inspect the place and stuff, they pay them.
Yes,
And they just leave
turn
that
their
and
face
they turn their
down.
face
That
away.
is because
So
no employee has taken them on a challenge.
True.
Nobody has taken them to the court that why are you doing this? Is this not contravening?
No,
So my own conclusion, sir,
I think
no.
there's this fear in the heart
I want-
of
Nobody
a random
wants-
employee
nobody wants
that
to
they
lose
they
their
are being
employment.
they don't want to lose
Why do
their
we
job.
have the-
And
Because if
even
you are in a private
at the end of the day,
because of-
when you are trying to tell your boss or something, they will tell you they know this so person want to go and meet up there.
For me,
Up
I've
there.
seen more cases of government employees taking the government to court. I've not come across, or there will be, but I've hardly come across
Private sector.
private employees taking their employers to court.
It's because they would always threaten
Nobody-
them.
And I
with
feel that
something.
BC,
People
threaten
don't
people.
want to
I
lose
think we
their
are our own
employment.
And it's
problem.
because
Not
we
about the
all
threat.
know that it's about the threat. I think.
No, it's not
I
about the
think-
threat. No, it's not about the threat. If someone threatens me, but I don't feel like I have to survive on their job, I'll resign and I'll take the person to court. And I will even I will take. In fact, one thing I will do is that I'll prepare myself that I'm going to take compensation for the misuse they have put me to. You get, but I know that I am not
In this
dependent.
our
My life does not
country,
depend
I
on that
just
employment.
feel people are
It's
just,
because of job
you
insecurity,
know
that is
this
why.
thing,
Job
I-
insecurity,
I
one.
mean,
Cause
this
no-
thing,
number
my
two.
boss is the son of so.
And
My boss is the son of
Judiciary
system.
system.
and
Number
nobody is
two.
fighting for anybody except people up, I there.
In my own thoughts, you don't even need to know people up anywhere.
Sincerely.
That's it. You don't
Two
need to.
things.
Another thing is
People that are taking government to the court, who
what
do they
is
know?
this
But everybody
the
goes to the court with the
labor
hope that the court will take sides with me and
Labor
give me
law.
my
Labor
employment.
agencies.
I mean, and give me my entitlement.
TUC, that's trade union.
The trade union.
And
Even
what's the
I
other,
think
the other one?
NLC too is empowered.
NLC,
Yeah.
So
thank you.
actually stepping into the
But-
issues of labor.
But we've been having challenges.
Everybody has turned a blind eye to
I
those
just feel
things.
that we are
Except
our own problem
there
in
is
this
a
country.
gross issue. That is when NLC steps in for private employees. So that is it. And I think there's even a union for private employees too. Isn't there? I think there is.
There should
There
be.
is actually, but
There should be.
it's not
I think-
so
I think
functional.
one of the challenges we are having as a nation is enforcement of regulation.
Law, I said in the beginning. Enforcing the law. We're not enforcing it.
nobody pays attention to it. Everybody just
Yeah,
turns
so
a
many
blind eye.
things just happen, and it happens like that.
And it
But
happens.
let's
So I
okay.
feel that our submission concerning this issue of labor law is that people should speak up, get a lawyer, and not be so afraid or intimidated to pursue their concern. I know it's not easy. This is my plenty English. I know it's not easy.
You know a private employee that is even paid peanuts. Please, how does that person even
survive.
a lawyer.
get a lawyer in the
Yeah.
first place? Talk about paying for filing of processes and all.
I thought you.
That's the problem.
You.
No free, no pro bono, no pro bono now.
Maybe because the lawyer will not use.
I think people are
lawyer no go chop.
People are
After
leveraging
the
on
lawyer
the power of
jail.
social media these days.
Yeah.
You know, they make use of social media to actually create awareness about mistreatment they are receiving in their workplaces. Like there was one I saw, a lady was flogged for stealing or for taking something from the supermarket where she works. So the guys operating there gathered about 5 of them and flogged her mercilessly. So the next update was that the owner has been arrested. Yeah. So I think people are now using the power of social media to leverage on that since they don't know who to. You see people coming to actually advocate for them.
All right. Oh, thank you very much. Of course, time is fast spent. We would have loved to talk about relationship with financial institution. How do you raise funds starting your business? Can we just have something from one quarter? Let's hear our dearly beloved lawyer. How can we rate?
We touched on it too when we said people should go online and check on information when it comes to grants and stuff.
What about banks and loans? Okay. Oh, we touched on it. Okay.
Like now, if I need loan, I can go and use your shoe. Your shoe as collateral.
I think what's the name of this bank?
And we touched
Did
on
we
it.
talk about microfinance banks?
We touched on it.
We talked on microfinance
Yes.
banks. Where was I? No, we
No,
haven't.
that was pre.
Yeah, we did not talk about
That
it.
was pre.
Yeah,
Oh,
we didn't talk about it.
Finance bank.
All right, please leverage on microfinance banks, of course, banking institutions for short-term loans, for microfinance banks, for long-term loans that will
Commercial
require
banks.
paying interest in 1 year. You use commercial banks, regular banks, and for short-term loans, you use microfinance
I
banks.
think the Bank of Industry to extend loans to certain kinds of businesses.
I think
I'm not
agriculture
Yeah,
and the likes, and
Are there
yes.
loans that does not require collateral?
Yes, loans where you get from your family members, crowdfunding.
sure. Okay, I think
Which
bank
one?
is that? Okay, no, I don't know if.
Okay, the
there's no
Islamic
but I
bank.
know about Jaiz Bank.
Okay.
Okay, no, that is without interest, not
Without
without
interest.
collateral. Yes.
Okay, no, without interest. Sorry,
Yes, without interest. You can
interest.
get
Jaiz
loans. Yes.
Jaiz bank.
Yes, you can get loans without interest. That's zero
collateral?
interest. But of course, you have
You-
a collateral.
collateral.
But loans without interest.
Okay, yes, we have to bring this program to a close. Our time is so far spent.
No, I'm just thinking that
Yes.
I can sell Uncle Toke's ring to bad money to my business.
But
sha.
it's not. Do you think it's not that valuable, Papi Sam?
58 carats.
Really?
It's been humble.
If
It's
it's
not valuable.
sorry, if it was 58, do you think I'm going to be here right now?
Can you sit on that finger? Oh, easy. Cut it out.
All right, yeah, that brings us to the end of this amazing session on the Happy Family Podcast, and we've been having a wonderful time learning on how to start a business, in Nigeria. And I want to believe that you've, caught wind on what you can do and how much you need to know in making this possible. Of course, a big thank you to our family members. It's so great hanging out with you guys one more time. Yes, a whole lot to learn. Man, I'm just taking, information in my arsenal, just putting them in my arsenal. Yeah, I'm just, gathering all the time. Yes, and also to you watching, want to say a big thank you. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, comment, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we have any new content. And we'd love to say this: happy people,
Happy family.
thank you, God bless you, have a wonderful time. Happy Family Podcast.